Grand rising, beloved family of light. So much love to all of you as I humbly welcome all of you to this wonderful episode of Ascension Hour with Reverend Honi B and one of her much anticipated, oh my goddess, sacred, divine, galactic, Magdalene Heart sisters, Ariette Love, that I love so much, and I'm so just honored to welcome her on this hour today. So you all get to meet her. Ariette, thank you so much and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Honi, for welcoming me. And it's so good to see you again and to be on your show. I love your show. I love your work. I love your dedication. I love your light. You're dear to my heart. So thank you.
As you are to mine. I love you so much. I love the messages we leave with each other and just feel that essence that goes back and forth in that blossom, rose, and heart. And I'm excited for the audience to experience that today. And thank you so much for accepting my invitation. I'm humbly honored, Ariette. And with that, let's get started. So we're going to go ahead and, as usual, just ground into our bodies first so we can really be open in that reception. So let's close our eyes and let us go ahead and take a just nice, gentle in-breath in and tune inward and breathe out. Placing the feet flat on the floor so you can really feel its connection with the belly of Sophia Gaia. And let's place our hands on our heart. Consciously and deliberately, let's take a nice deep in-breath from this horizontal plane all the way to the center of our crystalline diamond heart. And let us just hold that breath for a moment as we connect in that sacred holy essence, that purity flame inside, and feel the love of our divine love inside. And releasing the breath out. Let's take another deep in breath from this horizontal plane back into that sacred golden dazzling diamond heart, and holding the breath as you connect with the center of its love. Draw your attention downward to the lower chakras, passing through the Earth Star chakra all the way to the center of Gaia's crystalline diamond heart, connecting your heart to its heart, so you know that she knows you are here. Drawing your out breath outward. Let us take the next in breath from this horizontal plane back all the way into the center of the heart. Once again, connecting with the beautiful crystalline diamond heart, and from its love, holding your breath, drawing your attention upward to the higher chakras, upper chakras, passing through your soul star chakra, going all the way up to the center of the great central sun and beyond the great central sun into source, the heart of source, and releasing your breath from its love all the way to the heart of source. So source also knows you are here with your love. And finally, let us take a deeper, stronger, deliberate breath from this horizontal plane all the way into the center of our crystalline diamond heart, as we connect in this vertical axis and this horizontal axis in this centralized location inside the blossoming heart. With its love and its unification of this unity consciousness, let us breathe out in its freedom in all direction, this magnificent, beautiful bubble of photonic light, this plasma light, all around us, all around you. So each of us are completely enclosed in this dazzling ball of light, in its force field of light. Anything less than the divine perfection of this pure consciousness of the crystalline love may not interact in any which way. Each of us are completely safe in this plasma consciousness, and we are here to open in ourselves that which is the words of divine truth shared from our beloved Ariette Love, that is here to generously give us a glimpse into her walk of ascension. And anything that is less than the pure perfection will only transcend back into light, as there's only love here. And so it is. And so be it as we begin.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Wonderful. Thank you for this beautiful, beautiful creation of heartfelt divine love.
Divine love is what we are, beloved sacred sister. And for those that don't know you, I'm delighted for them to, in this short time, get a glimpse of you, because Ariette, I love that your name is Love, because many have changed their name to Love because we're coming in that place. And yet to carry that essence of love is a whole different walk, and you really walk it. And I'm going to start out, when did you feel to change your name? And that's part of that ascension. Like, what led you to it, and what is calling you truly forth with the devotion to that love as your last name?
Wow, what a beautiful question. Honestly, first came my promise towards myself that I would really walk the path of love, and that I was prepared and dedicated, devoted to face anything inside in which I was actually blocking this path. So I actually opened the doors, the gates to love, and to everything that seemed to be less than love, or that, old convictions. And then came a time that I was being invited to travel abroad and to work mostly abroad. So not in the Netherlands. My last name is Loeffen, which is easy in Netherlands. But in America and in England and in Bali, it wasn't easy, or in Kuwait. So, but I really felt this strong devotion to love ever since I was a child. And yes, I have been going off track for sure during teenage, and but then I when you consciously choose to walk the path of love, you also remember the dreams you had as a child. So I remember that as a child it was all about love, and that I so longed for that. So I was like, Lufen, love, it makes sense that when I work internationally, it has to be love, because it's all about love. So love is the truth of who we are. And it's it just expresses what I'm here for.
So perfect. Thank you for sharing that. And it is this journey, this ascension walk has so many layers in it. The journey itself is so multidimensional, and many keep coming back to those dreams as a child. And it keeps unfolding. It's kind of like going back to the drawing board, but the drawing board is that board, those greater visions as a child we had, where we had no limitations and we could truly imagine so big. So
Oh,
with
yeah.
that, are there some of those other visions as a child that like are really playing out now in
Yeah.
this where you are, that we're seated way back in that innocence state?
Yes.
Tell us
For
about
sure. For sure. Yes, yes. I feel actually, because I've been thinking about your question, like, tell me about your ascension path, or we don't want to know about your work or the content of what you're doing, but we want to know about you. So when I think about that, yeah, it to me it feels like really embodying the essence of who we are. So, and that is, it's, it is there when you're little, when you're a child. And even through trauma and whatever we are experiencing, it's ever present, actually, only we temporarily forgot. So, yeah, ascension to me is like going back to the roots in a way. Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Isn't it
yeah.
interesting? It's like this conversation I had. It's like a deliberate path of so-called getting lost to only be found again. But you're never
Mhm.
really lost. You are always found, but you gotta sort of like put yourself in this ascension journey just so you can go off the path, be lost for a little while, kind of like in the books, just so that you can say, I was lost for a while, for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
That's
definitely.
humorous, isn't it?
Definitely. And but it's like that in a collective as well, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
humanity has temporarily, okay, just, a bit longer, but we have temporarily forgotten what we truly are
Yeah.
and why we're here and, what we're here to do, what we really are made of. And so, and now we are returning to what we actually are and have always been, and which had never been lost.
Yeah.
Like, people who tell that, to me, it's not the truth.
Yeah.
And to you, it isn't either.
No,
So,
it's not, because I've come to recognize like I feel like I'm getting more and more glimpses of the divine perfection that I actually for majority of my life was
mm,
judging the judging the imperfection, judging the hurt that would create, judging
yeah,
the way it impacted others negatively, judging it. And I feel like thanks to these past pandemic energies, there's a whole lot more that's come to the side that's actually been given the lens of, oh, wow, this is divine perfection. Wow, this is like, I can really see the divine perfection in this, and the
yeah,
much more of the ease of it that wasn't able to be as seen before.
yeah,
And so you're finding more and more in the last couple of years, there's like, wow, you just can't judge anymore because you see the perfection and imperfection.
yes, yeah. And to see that, we, from the mind level, we can see it as a paradox, but
Yeah,
actually it's not, because it's the all-in-one game we're playing here. So it's yeah, divine perfection, even in the imperfected state. So it's
so can you
beautiful.
say you're starting to have fun with the game? Because my gosh, Ariette, we can say this, but it hasn't been a fun game for most of our life.
Hmm.
Was it a fun game to for me? No, it was probably more like a kick and screaming. No, I want
Can I leave, please?
to.
When can I go back home? Like things like that,
Yeah.
I'm not longing for that at
Mm-mm.
all anymore. Well, I know I am home at this moment, and I know I'm going home, and um,
What's the game changer for you, Ariette?
the game changer. Well, there have been several, of course, along the line, because for me, it's not like, okay, there was one click and then, phew, I saw the light. No, it has been like a gradual path of awakening. And becoming a mother has been really, really important in that. And also not having had the easiest pregnancy, not having had the most beautiful pink cloud experience with my firstborn. And she didn't have, we almost died, both of us. And then she had a lot of problems. So it really, but I knew she was one of my biggest teachers from the beginning onwards. So I was like, okay, so here are some challenges and they are for me, because everything that happens in my life at a certain stage in my life, I decided everything in my life is for me. It's not against me, because life is for us, life doesn't. So it to me, it's really logical or biological anyway. So, but I still had this urgency to change certain things, like the things I was going through, but especially for my child. Like, I was a lioness. I wanted to protect my child. I was, and in that way, I was actually judging certain things we were going through, but especially what she was going through. Until someone said to me, and that at that moment, I was like, how can you say that? Until someone said to me, like, okay, so you want the best for your child. I get that. But you are not supposed to protect her against everything in life, like, look at your own life and the wisdom you have gained because of things that have happened, and the opportunities you saw in it. And I was like, oh. So but it wasn't like I got it, but then learning how to be with that, because you do have a responsibility, as a parent. But so it was like, okay, so I'm in this dance. And yeah, from then onwards, it more, I was being invited more and more, or I allowed myself to dance through life this way, I guess. Yeah, I think that's it. And
That was a game
still
changer.
dancing. That
Yeah.
was a big game changer. Yeah.
I feel that's the one thing that you and I have shared in common, which I've had you on the show before with Michael when we did this with you and your beloved, and with you and I, and there were several of us with that firstborn child coming, the way we got, I feel like I got very much like you. It was like a star burst. And like,
Yes.
I feel I really recognize my womb as a stargate. The way he came in, blasted my stargate open. It was like a holy freaking heavens, like because of all the health issues that first week. And I'm smiling about it now because it was horrific that week. It was the worst experience, like another horrific trauma of trying to navigate and feeling that lioness and anger and rage ready to hurt somebody because my child. And
Yeah.
that opened up this relationship that was a huge game changer, and the journey that came for the game to begin changing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no
Definitely.
joke. So,
Yeah. It's like I told someone today who just became a mother a few 2 months ago or something, like, it's like becoming a mother is an initiation in itself, and you're going through many initiation stages as a mother. That's what I feel. And then, all these other initiations, of course, we chose.
it's the best natural cosmic universal ayahuasca you have. Being pregnant and then birthing, like you have it all. You're going through it. Believe me, there's
Oh
not
yeah.
more that is needed,
Oh
because
yeah. Yeah.
holy moly, amount
Yeah.
of purging along the way. Because these star beings are, they're like sitting there comfortable, the last thing pulsing from inside, right? Getting you
Yeah.
prepared to handle it, getting you prepared to be
Mm-hmm.
standing in your truth, because that's where they come in to rock our faulty, illusionary world so that we
Yeah.
can, yeah. And then all the different sort of like the different stations of game changers, further game changers along the way, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And looking at that was one of the first things that really, really clicked in. But there have been many, and I saw her as a teacher, and I saw my other daughter as a teacher, but I actually see all encounters that trigger something on me in me, or that help to awaken something in me. So everything in life, everyone in life is actually a teacher. That's that's what I feel. And so,
And
yeah, the divine perfection.
when you said, Ariette, darling, about this is so important for the audience to recognize, because we come in to design to go through a lot of experiences, but because of that forgetfulness that we come in,
Mm.
there's a lot of hurt. We experience a lot of the hurt and the traumas. And there's this thing, why is this happening to me? There's a lot of that, why is this happening to me? And there's a moment that it changes. Just
Yeah.
like the game changes, it's happening for me. When was that part for you that you really grasped, okay, now this is happening for me. I'm going to get excited about this. Has it been more recent for you, or has it been for quite a while that you can truly say, okay, I'm totally, I've grasped it. It's happening for me.
I'd say that I really got that and that I really embodied that was like 5.5 years ago. Because things were happening in my life back then that I did not understand on a mental level at all. It didn't make sense. It was like complete, it was lunatic. And at the same time, I felt, okay, this is so needed. It just needs to happen. It doesn't make sense on any level. I'm losing everything, everyone. And here it is. And I need to, I need to be with it. This is something I need to go through. And again, I knew it was an initiation. And with an initiation, you never.
Yeah, I apologize. Just for audience, was that also the part where everything was being dematerialized from you? Like literally everything was going from you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I want to mention, because
Yes.
a lot of people are like, family is going, things are going, job is going, all of that. So
Yeah.
make that connection. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
Yeah. No house, no, like that part of my life. And so I knew it. I just knew. So Isis was really with me, Goddess Isis. She was really present. And I connected with her daily, and I got these messages like, and she was very short with her messages.
She always is.
She said, just trust. So every time I asked her a question, there wasn't like revelations or just trust, trust. And it was with a capital T. And
Mhm.
that was it. I was like, okay, thank you. But I knew that was all I could do. This was about deep, deep surrendering into trust, ever like deeper than I'd ever done. And again, it didn't make sense, but it doesn't make, when you're going through initiations, they don't make sense at first. Like a lot of life we go through, it doesn't make sense at all. And it's not supposed to make sense, because then we stay stuck on that level. We're not supposed to stay stuck on that level. We're supposed to dive in deeper and to just enter the not knowing zone. We don't know. I don't know what I don't know. And I'm here, and I'm, just showing up.
Yeah, I love that you said that, because a lot of time that rational mind is like so confused, yet there's a split energy inside, because there's something so from this knowing is coming in, but the knowing, this one doesn't know it, or the conscious mind or the rational mind doesn't know it, and it's just like it's trying to also protected to so it doesn't get thrown around because it's had a job. And then this part is coming. So there's this conflict, this war inside for a while that we get to see. And would you say that during that time, of course, it doesn't make sense, again, back to the audience, a lot of time you experience it doesn't make sense, but it's also giving you the opportunity to then research, discover, go study. And there's it's kind of like it's like the heart is pulsing the truth from the divine truth coming in, and then this rationale needs information to have it be more sort of like join the party, so that it starts going to look for the information, like open those Pandora boxes. Okay, what's happening? And then you, before you know, you've opened up so many, you dug a one bit rabbit hole, and then you got in like this. Right?
Yeah. I feel like going deep into the rabbit hole, that's the invitation,
Yeah.
And well, for me, it was maybe a bit different. Like, I wasn't trying to do research
Yeah.
because I had been doing that for quite a while. It was more like I knew a lot and I knew what I wanted, and I had been on the path for quite a while already, like, yeah, a few decades. But then it was more about a deeper embodiment. So I knew I couldn't find anything in books. I couldn't,
Yeah.
even outer teachers. It was just me and the divine and Isis. And it was about really also recognizing the dedication, the promise, the oath I had made as a soul, to always recognize the divine, and especially the divine feminine and goddess presence. So it was more about that, like, okay, this is what I'm here for. And it's not against the divine masculine at all, because that's a sacred dance. But I am here this lifetime for that. That
Yes.
is my oath. That is why I'm here for. So for me, it was more like, okay, am I prepared? Yes, I'm prepared. Am I willing to face anything? Yes, I am prepared. So, and it was a constant questioning and constant self-investigation, self-inquiry, like, okay, still prepared? Yes, still prepared.
So
Yeah.
you went from, you, like many of us, you went, discovered the rabbit hole, went on that, and then you went to the inner
Yeah,
rabbit
deeper.
hole, that deep inner, that's a whole
Yeah.
different rabbit hole
Yeah.
inside, because it's easier to go to the rabbit hole on the outside,
Yeah.
to discover, and then that pushes you to go in, and that's that delicious inner abyss that's forever, oh my gosh, luminous in its
Yes.
light of discoveries and the treasures that are truly eternal,
Yeah.
and no one can take you there but yourself.
Hmm.
Solo
That
journey.
is so true. It's so true. Yeah, you have to step beyond that threshold and walk through those divine golden heaven gates.
Yeah.
And then, no one can even guide you there, I feel
Yeah. And that's
like.
what happens, Ariette. I love that you said that. Those of us who are, and it just so happened to be, since the show I started in September, every single Wednesday I've had different phenomenal guests. And out of all the guests up to here with you, every single person, exception of one, they are called to truly embody. Every single one of us is that, it's now like that place of embody. How do we truly embody it, like really anchored in it? And I'm addressing this because what is phenomenal in this ascension journey, something that you said we talked about game changer, right? We talked about how we start then having fun with it. We talked about all of this. You know, you are experiencing a lot on the outside, and then you get to a point, and this has been with just about all of us, there's no more book to read. If anything, they've been asked for a while not to read anything. There's no more YouTube to watch. There's nowhere else to go but inside. And you're asked to directly go inside. And I feel like for all of us that are on that leading edge of ascension, we've been asked to go to discover, truly discover this inner realm and to see it for our own vision, our own inner sight, see it, that which is already seen, so that the language of it can start to come online. And from that language that has been anchored in its truth, now is ready to be the spoken word of what is seen. So from
Mm-hmm.
unseen to the seen, as the seers, true seers, and then it becomes a dedication. All right, let me now get the mechanics of all these bodies working together in collaboration. So I feel like it becomes the true collective, again, moves from that collective on the outside to this collective inside. The physical, the emotional, mental, etheric, spiritual, the organs, the lymph nodes, the fascia, all of them, this collective energy has to harmonize. That knows once it does this, it is happening on that collective on the outside.
Yes, for sure. Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
That
from that,
resonates.
nowhere else to go, nowhere else to go. So if the audience, you're getting to a point where, you know, even if this conversation, you're looking at like, okay, I know I've nowhere else to go but inside. So go
Yes.
inside. And tell me a little bit about your journey of going inside, because that's some interesting place, Ariette. When we go inside, we start seeing things that we begin to really hold ourselves accountable for.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. So when you go inside, you I realized, there's nowhere to hide, there's nowhere to run. I'm living this life and I'm the owner. And so I should take ownership. And there's beauty in it. And there's a lot of confrontations in it. And it's all part of my life. So there isn't, again, about the divine perfection, everything is part of this life that I am living. And what I discovered is that in New Age land, and some call it New Cage land, there are again many rules, like you should be like this, you should be. And I tried, believe me, when I started studying and started to diving the New Age movement, I tried to live up to it. I became really, really I became sad. I even became depressed. Like, I can't live up to that. Am I bad? It's about your karma. And then there became a moment that I realized, wait a minute, this is just another kind of religion trying to impose something on me. But am I that? So that's the question, does it resonate with me? Is it my truth? It may be everyone else's truth, but if it's not my truth, maybe I don't see it yet. Fine. Maybe I will see it someday. But at this moment, I'm not going to be happy if I try to live up to that, because then I'm not living my truth. So for me, it is about having the guts to dive in, to really meet everything that presents itself within me, that surfaces, and then to be with it in love and meet it with love. And if I notice, oh, I'm not there yet, I cannot meet it with love, then there's my challenge, there's my invitation. Instead of wanting to get rid of some things, wanting to transform certain things, want to change, or, you know, have these all this resistance. If there's resistance, okay, what is it needed?
I,
So yeah, it's
I love
that's my journey.
this.
And
I love what you said. Did you, Ariette, this is, I'm giggling because I remember so much of this space. Maybe you experienced it. I felt like, you know, those cenotes you go, there's like a little hole and it's like in a cave and it's kind of dark. There's only that light that's coming the cave. I felt like in that space of the inner, this spotlight was on, like continuous spotlight. And there was nowhere to, you couldn't run away from it. It's like continuously on, watching you. It's like a witness watching you, watching
yep.
every part of you. You are so naked.
Yeah.
You're forced
Yeah.
to face everything. And it's so uncomfortable and so liberating at the same time. But like there's this hysterical duality about it. As I remember, I'm inside this cenote cave thing, and it's on, but this internal space, and I can't go anywhere but to be here. And I'm forced, literally out of love, to be here, forced to see it
Yeah.
and really see it and stomach it, and then welcome it. It's like all those layers, then allow it, then okay, fine. And it didn't happen overnight.
No.
That took itself
Mhm.
its own journey to then for it to actually love come. I feel like for me, it's only been the last 2.5 years that finally the space came that I'm truly ready to love these denser vibrations that were so tied into pain and hurt. I don't know
Mhm.
about yours, but mine really authentically, I would have to say I can tell you exactly 2 years and 2 months.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. What happened?
Well, I had another starburst nervous breakdown, complete nervous breakdown, because I couldn't run away from this thing. I was inside a horrific panic attack and a huge fight with Michael. And I just, like, inside of me, I couldn't tolerate this thing inside of me. And it was pain. And
Mm.
pain wanted to get my attention, and I had done everything humanly possible to avoid this one area of pain, because it was just so painful. That tied to the sexual abuse. I'd gone through so many years of the healing, but this part, it was time for me to sit with it. And I I had done so much to truly, I had kind of like dabbled in it here, there, kind of like around it, but here's this spotlight. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
The panic attack was so bad that week. I mean, it was so horrific. And it took my son, my youngest son, came grab me. He said, "Mom, you're one of the most powerful women I know. What are you doing? Go sit there, talk to God." And I
Wow.
was like, both of them have done this twice in my life. So I went, sat in the room, and I was like, okay, it's time. So I sat for 3 hours in that silence, and my higher self came, and it was like, "You've been avoiding," and I'm sitting there like a bad student, bad child,
Mm.
literally. I know,
Mm.
like, I just couldn't. He's like, "It's time, it's
Mhm.
time."
Mhm.
And it was like the layers and layers of meeting, what I experienced as a 1-year-old, being sexually molested, and
Wow.
the pain of it so deep, because I had to, this whole life has been for me to try to create a safe space for me to feel safe, artificially safe, security,
Mhm.
safe.
Mhm.
Safety has been a huge one. Put light on everything, just safe. Yet meanwhile, it was an attempt for this that I couldn't meet, because it was so deeply stored in the mitochondria of my cell, in that cellular memory, and I needed to meet it, but I just didn't have the guts at that level to meet it. So it was January 27th, 2 years ago, that I got to
Wow.
sit there. And then from there, for 5 months straight, 3 hours a day, I went to the same space. That opened the door, and all these other one by one, I had to meet and start unwinding in my body to experience the freedom, because this divine love wanted to come in, but it couldn't fully
Yeah.
come in because
Yeah.
this was at the core. And well, thank you for asking that. I wanted to shift that around, but that really, I'm open about this, because when that spotlight of your own source light literally falls on you, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And you might go into panic attack, kicking and screaming, but there's nowhere to go, because
No.
love is ready to embrace you.
Yeah. And then you have these divine sons, and they, they remind you of the truth of who you are, and the strength that you have within. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Wow.
Thank you for sharing that. But
Yeah.
it's the same, like there's nowhere to go,
Yeah. It's
because
true.
it's not designed for you to go anywhere else
Yeah.
but to go in,
Yeah.
because then you come out as the new garment, that holy garment we're talking about,
Yeah.
that sacred garment. And that's that sacred garment that you've been wearing. And
Yeah.
in service to it, in dedication to it, in the discipline
Yeah.
of it, and how glorious that feels. First you, and then everybody else that gets to come into its frequency.
Yeah. 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 And always being open to, deepening, 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 and meeting whatever might still be here. I'm just, open for more divine light to be embodied, and more truth to be revealed. And yeah.
And let me ask you a question, Ariette.
Mm.
Ties into the same thing. For me, during that time, one of the biggest realizations, truly realized, like my real eyes began to see, that we talk about journey, but we don't grasp it as a real journey. It was then that I recognized, to the rest of this incarnation, there are going to be many different places in this that I'm going to go meet, and
Yeah.
again and again and again. And it was like, talk about game changer. It was suddenly like the game changed. Like, it was like this fight ended. So when it comes around, I'm not upset anymore.
Yeah.
Like, so that took place in you as well. Like, you recognize, to the rest of the incarnation is coming in, because it's almost like as if, you talk about the new age, like if you didn't get it, like it's a failed attempt, and that, right? So that whole thing washes away, or
Yeah.
washed away, I know, for me. So tell me about yours. You also came to that realization.
Definitely. Like when I hear people like, oh, there's still something lingering in me, I'm like, yeah, so we're here being human. I'm not, if I would have been like totally pure and, without any traumatic experiences or any layers or any, I would have been there,
Yeah,
or I would have been like an ethereal, and I am.
yeah.
Also, I feel these parallel lives, but I'm here to experience as much as I can. And I'm prepared I need to be prepared. That's what I feel like. Okay, let me see, let me feel, like, let me just experience, where I can be in even more truth. And the how will come. The how will come. I don't need to know the how, but I just need to be prepared to face anything and everything.
And let me ask you, through that lens, that recognition, that realization on your ascension walk, that I know this is a journey now. I really know it. So I've given up that fight, and I've
Yeah.
embraced the liberation of that. So whatever comes, I accept. Within that acceptance, that's that that's that invocation of the divine quality. One of the profound divine qualities of God source is that acceptance. You get to like, wow, I accept these that come. And it's something like, wow, I accept. It's not fighting it anymore. So
Yeah.
there, speak to us about, okay, your lens of seeing these vibrations that are, say, more condensed or more contracted, and you being on earth, walking on the belly of Sophia Gaia with these, meeting these things, what have you realized? What is actually happening as you're meeting these? Do you understand what I'm sharing?
What happens as I meet
Yes.
things or
The
experiences inside
denser,
myself?
yes, as you're meeting these denser vibrations within yourself, because you're meeting it also in this outer reality that's playing out, right?
Of course.
So,
Oh,
so what
yes.
can
Oh,
you,
for sure. Oh, my
exactly, so
goodness.
that's what I'm speaking. So let's tell the audience, like, as you're meeting this within yourself, what are you seeing that is then happening on the outer reality?
Yeah. So I, what I notice inside on the inner planes
Yeah.
is that if I am prepared to meet anything and everything, things soften, because it's being met with love in love. And everything that is yelling inside, like the mind, like what we call the mind, or the inner critic, or, when we really, really are present with it, what is it really yelling for? What is it really yearning for? Most of all, it's love. So it thinks it is deprived of love, but it's not. So it has to be reminded. And I'm then asking the presence, so my higher presence, my divine goddess presence, my to show up as the goddess mother, as the divine unconditional loving mother, who would never send any of her children away, no matter what kind of behavior they would show. Like, because then her family, her beautiful family, wouldn't be complete anymore. So that's what I realized. So if I would, resist any of my dark sides,
Yeah.
I deprive myself of feeling whole. I neglect myself the opportunity, the experience of feeling the wholeness of everything that is present, that is presenting within me, that is surfacing within me, is part of the wholeness that I am. And if I can do that, so I still meet elements in my life and have experiences like, oh my goodness, wow, this is quite a challenge. I've recently been to Egypt and uh, also guided a group, and also in this group things happened like, oh my goodness, this is really a challenge. So this is requiring me to step into my mastery. And stepping into your mastery it has nothing to do with arrogance, because again, a lot of the times I didn't know what to do, but I knew I have to trust. I knew that also love is capable of setting boundaries, like healthy boundaries, like saying no more. That is love too. And but also allowing the play to unfold and being the witness. So it's like you said in the beginning, there are so many layers to the game we're in. And what I feel, the more I can be with anything and everything that arises within me, I am more capable of meeting anything and everything that is being met in the outer world. And also, what I meet in the outer world is, I don't know, it isn't that harsh anymore. And yes, I can still see people are going through harsh things and are really going through really what they experience as severe challenges. I can see that, and I have a lot of compassion for that, a lot. And so the question you put beforehand, like a lot of people ask, like, why am I going through this? Why am I why me? Why me? Like, I'm so familiar with that. I used to do that a lot. Until I realized, I don't know the why yet, but it has to have a purpose. And I think, no, I experience there is a purpose for everything I've been through. And their purpose is what I'm living now. Yeah. So, and that is what I would love to share with the audience. A lot of the times we don't know what we're going through, why we're going through it, when it will end. Will it ever end? We don't know. We just don't know. And we are being asked, we are being requested to just learn to be and to trust with a capital T. And if we can, live with maybe the hypothesis. What
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah. Hypothesis that
Hypothesis. Yeah,
English
that
word.
one. If we can like taste it. So could it be that everything in your life is for you, even if you don't understand it? Like, see it like a gift, and it's not. It's wrapped, and you can choose whether you unwrap it or not. But it's not, to me, it doesn't even feel like a belief. I'm convinced that everything in my life is for me, even if it doesn't make sense at all.
Mm. I feel that so much in my body as you share that, because it is that ultimate capital truth. That
Yeah.
capital truth is the same to all of us. While we have our baby truth along the way till we get to the master truth, and
Yeah.
different pathways as we get there, then we all like, oh, it's the same, it vibrates the same in all of our bodies. Because, and when you sit in it, it's like, okay, it's love. Oh, okay, you feel the
Yeah.
love all over. It's like,
Yeah.
then it brings this giddiness, and
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
And what is also important, honey, what I realized, what I also realized is that I'm not supposed to bypass anything with positive thinking.
Right.
That was part of the new age demands as well. Like, you need to think positive. I'm not,
Mm.
I don't need to do anything.
Yeah.
And so I don't need to put another layer on what I'm experiencing. So positive thinking can be a next layer and creating mist. I'm not supposed to create mist. I'm here to live my own true, authentic, truthful life,
Yeah.
being ruthlessly honest with myself. So not with the audience, or not, it's, people can do that, but I need to show up truthfully, for me, with me.
And would you say when you do show up truthfully with you, I always find it after like the challenge and difficulty and sitting in it and going through it, like once I've gone through it, on the other side of it, it's never felt, at least in my case, it's always joy, always joy. On the other side, it's always joy. So then it's like, then it's further confirmation for my limited self. Okay, it's all happening for me because life
Yeah.
loves me, truly. Source loves me, I am loved, like like it brings that confirmation. Not that
Yeah.
I need it, but it actually helps for that part of me that wants to also experience that.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So this is so beautiful in the wisdom. And that's why, like, I love when I can hear from your own work, like some of those golden nuggets about your own personal journey. What have you discovered? Because all of us are having our own little signatures in this discovery of the frequencies that are becoming alive. Like, they become online. Once they're alive, they become online and become accessible and available. And from here, I'm going to turn this towards like your, what you're in service to. You have amazing like you and I connect so deep with the Divine Mother, the
Yes.
voice of the Magdalene consciousness. We're devoted to Isis, Mother
Yeah.
Mary Magdalene, Kuan Yin, and like Lady Nada. So we share so much.
Sarah. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And so from here, and of course our Lyran stuff, there's just so much around here. So
Mm-hmm.
if you'd like to just now take it now, we're going to just as we wrap up, go towards your service.
Mm-hmm.
What is coming up for you? What are you teaching these days? And I know you came back from Egypt and you moved to south of France, the land of the Cathars now. Yay!
Yeah.
So
And Magdalene.
I know, it's so
Yeah.
exciting. So share so that way my audience will be able to connect with you and discuss
Mm-hmm.
more of the gift that from this aware state that has become online that you're in service to.
Mm-hmm. 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 So, what I'm offering currently, so it's always I allow myself to flow. So it's not set in stone because I need to have that freedom. But currently, I love to guide travels together with my sister Sandra de Vos. We did that in Egypt, and it was like it went so fluidly. It went so beautifully. It was like so guided by the divine. So we're going to do more of that in Egypt, maybe Scotland, England, and for sure also in France. I will be guiding a journey in May 13th to 20th around Montségur, where I live. And surprise, surprise, we bought a house there. Yeah, which has, a view at the Montségur.
Oh,
And from there, we're still looking for conscious investors, by the way, but from there, I will, I'm so looking forward to guide conscious group of people up the mountain and through the area, to inspire people. And this house really feels like a house of light and a house of love. And it's in the middle of the village. Really, it's like, oh, we
yeah.
didn't win the lottery, but with this house we did.
There you have.
So, if it's really meant to be, it also finances will come, and we can really bring our service work to next level here as well. And yeah, I feel so grateful to be living there and to look everywhere. I step out of the house and I see mountains everywhere. This whole village is surrounded by mountains. You can
Love
see the
that village.
Pyrenees.
For people that haven't been there, I mean,
Oh,
it's so spectacular.
it is. It is. And even now, you have this cold ice water, but it's crystal clear. And I just need to put my feet in it when I walk down and, walk towards the river. And so yeah, that's one of the things. And I have a membership in English.
Good.
o-
Excellent.
yeah, offering a lot of things. So people can look at my website if they want
Yeah,
to
and I'll
connect.
put a couple of the links, the ones that you would want directly onto this YouTube link.
Yeah,
So others can also, the one that you want, I'll put in here so they can contact you directly. And
wonderful.
that's just so fantastic. I miss South of France so much, so much.
Well, you're welcome to come.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Absolutely. We for several years, mine was usually September, always for the fall equinox, the 9/9 and fall equinox. I was doing the work with May Magdalene, and it
Oh,
was the
yeah.
6 weeks of the Europe tour. And there was that part in south of France with all the different places.
Mhm.
And on the last trip, I got to take Michael. So we got to go travel through all the places, all the different, like, so he get to experience his walk and that dedication. And I never I have to tell you something hysterical. I never forget we were we were in the village, and there is a part where I was driving, and we were on the
Village of Montségur?
no, say it.
What village were you?
Okay. Oh no, I'm sorry. We were in we were where the, oh my gosh.
Rennes-le-Château?
Yeah, we were in
Ah,
Rene Le Chateau. And
uh-huh.
so as we were leaving, Michael said, this is hysterical. Michael's like, honey, I want to walk the village down. I said, okay, I drive the car, I'll pick you up. He's like, I feel Mary Magdalene wants to talk to me. I was like, great, finally, this is fantastic. Go, go, go. Let Mary Magdalene walk barefoot. I'll see you down. So weird. Oh my gosh. Elliot, I drove my car, and you know how there's a part like there's, like it as you come out the village, there's this one curve.
Yeah.
It's kind of like there's a nice drop there.
Yep.
So as I took the turn, the car turned off and the brake wouldn't work.
No.
I kid you not. And like the steering wheel, and this just as I should the steering wheel, I was like mortified. We just finished doing the planetary work. We did everything
My
Mary
goodness.
Magdalene and Yeshua had asked. And suddenly the car just out of nowhere died right behind the wheel. I was like, Mary Magdalene. Like I just scored you. And then I pulled it. Thank goodness it had one of those older, how you say,
Brakes.
brake things that
Yeah.
pull up. And the car stopped, and I just stood there. I had no clue what that was. Like,
Wow.
I was like, it's not time for me to go off the cliff
My goodness.
but that one's still higher up. I mean, you
Yeah.
easily tumble down, but like the suddenly car goes out, no, nothing steering wheel, and I didn't know. And we had the most magical 4 days with the amount of work we did together in our union there. So then Michael comes. Oh, he's all and then his Mary Magdalene. I'm behind the wheel shaking. He's all like, oh, like church bells. Honey, Mary Magdalene. He's crying.
Oh my goodness.
He's like, what happened to you? And I couldn't even talk, I took him to the lovers, the lovers, the lovers, the all the names are going out of the lovers water,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. La Fontaine des Amours.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like all the names are going off because it's been like the last time it's been 3 years there. But Ariette, it was the funniest thing. That was the last time I was at the Rene Le Chateau, and
Wow.
so different
Wow. Wow.
experiences. I
Oh
didn't
my goodness.
even know what that was, but it was a great last memory.
Well, yeah, you will never forget Rennes-le-Château now.
And for 5 years, I had gone there every year before that. All kinds of. This was a very lasting memory.
Wow.
So maybe next time I come, it will be its own new memory again. So
Yeah,
trust.
would be.
But I was able to call in that moment, claim, no, not now. That was
Yeah.
the very important thing.
Uh-huh. Wonderful. Good for you. I'm not ready yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Gotta finish up more of this on
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, so
Oh.
much love. Aria, thank you so much again for giving us a glimpse into your beautiful ascension journey, your walk, that sacred walk that is so enriched with essence, the divine presence, that like mighty I am and its victorious wings that is seen so clearly. And I just so love and appreciate you, and I love the authenticity in your expression. And I love the audience that had the ability to just grasp what you're sharing, and for them
Mm.
to be able to contact you, for those that are really ready and they want to be their greatest divine expression self. So I
Thank you.
value and appreciate you so much, and I'm so excited for you for this next phase, because it seems like
Yay.
we all had to be positioned in a different place that is
Yeah.
now right for our frequency. That really, really supports it. So
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's
so
always lovely to talk to you, and I really look forward to meet you in the physical again.
oh,
And
absolutely. It
yeah, and it was a delight to talk. Really, it was a delight. So thank you so much
thank
again
you,
for the
my love.
opportunity.
Thank you. And for the audience, if anything we shared today really touched you, really just awoken something deeper in you, as soon as this video is ready, when we finish, please reshare it.
Mm,
Part of Ascension is sharing,
yes.
sharing to help others.
Yeah.
So we look forward to that. And thank you so much. And we'll see you all next week. Thank you again.
All
Much
my love.
love.